Okay, there we go. As always, I have to check this audio and make sure it is working properly because it will definitely act crazy on me. So just give me a second to make sure that the audio is working. I know it's a bit of a lag on my end, so it has to catch up so I can hear myself and know that the audio is working so that you all are hearing me fine. Okay, yeah, it's working. Okay, so I had to mute the video so I don't hear myself echoing in the back because that'll be mad annoying. See. Okay. So sorry I am late. I have been up since about 6 or so this morning, and then I got busy doing other stuff, and then I forgot that I lost track of time and didn't pay attention to the time, thinking, oh, I have a few more hours going on. And no, I looked over at the clock and it was 9:30. I said, oh my God. So here I am. I'm late. Sorry. But I'm here. I did not forget about this. I just lost track of time. I don't know, blame it on my ADHD, whatever. Yes, if you see the smoke coming across, I just had to cleanse the space out a little bit before I got into this reading because I know it's going to be some hectic energy because we are doing a reading on EM. And if you have not seen my description box below, I am referring to this person as EM, the owner of Tesla, Neuralink. What is it X is also his SpaceX is the other company he also runs. The reason why I'm referring to him as EM is because I'm hearing some people have been getting strikes or their videos suppressed or whatever the case may be if they're talking about this particular person. So just to kind of get around that, I am going to be referring to him as EM, and hopefully you can just understand. You see the thumbnail, so you know who we're doing a reading on, and I've pretty much put a big descriptor down in the description box, so you know exactly who I'm talking about. And if you don't, then this reading is probably not for you unless it's just something you feel like you're here to give me views, and on that case, thank you. Make sure to like, subscribe, and share. But with all of that being said, just to reiterate, I am doing this reading because I've been seeing some mumblings because, I stepped away from that after, what was that, November when we had our elections. And it seems that there is yet again some things going on in the U.S. Hi, honey. In the U.S.'s House and Senate, where they're trying to pass a spending bill because, yet again, here we are trying to increase the spending and because I think it's like at a cap or something, and then they have to approve if we are still going to be able to budget or pool money or whatever the case may be. I'm not all that read up on it. And so, here they go voting again, and supposedly EM in number 47 has, and I'm also referring to number 47 as that as well, just because, again, some people are getting strikes in their videos suppressed if they mention their actual names. So 47 and EM, those are the acronyms you need to remember for today. But okay, my dog is so funny. So these two are supposedly trying to get it to where Congress and Senate go on recess in order for them to pass a lot of the bills that they want to do, or to hold them off on coming up with certain legislative changes and things like that until until number 47 is in office. Look, I already slid up. Until number 47 is in office and his first 100 days can start off running and they can do all this stuff that they want to do. At least that's what I'm hearing. I don't know if that's actually what's going on, but I wouldn't be surprised. People in power, are we surprised? So with that being said, now that they're saying that EM has been kind of like doing some backroom dealings and trying to like shut Congress and such down, and to get the budget to not pass, the budget not passed because it's some nefarious reason or some underlying reason that he's trying to do. I don't know. But it's just yeah, I didn't want to hear about all this during the holiday. I can't be stressed. So with all that being said, you know, a lot of people are now saying that the Republicans in the House and Senate are calling him President M. Muskie. So, and Trump has been, oh my God, I'm going to keep slipping up. And number 47 has been very upset about the fact that they are referring to him as such. You know, his ego can't take it. So I figured, why not do a reading on this and see what's really going on between these two, and if there's going to be some kind of separation. Is there some kind of underlying reasoning that he's doing all of this, or what the case may be? Who knows? Blah, blah, blah. So that's why we're doing the reading, or at least I'm doing the reading because I'm nosy and I want to see what's going on. You know, now that the holiday is over with, I can focus on this now. I can look at this. So with all of that being said, let me get comfortable. Let's get into this. So the first part of this, I think I am going to, I guess, probably go back to what I would kind of think is the beginning, or at least the starts of where everyone is kind of realizing, oh, maybe this was his long-term thing. Not going back to the whole Twitter situation, but going back to him funding number 47's campaign and just kind of being like, well, why did he take interest in number 47's campaign and administration and wanted him to win. I think it's a pretty, to me, it seems cut and dry, but you never know with Mr. EM because, again, I said this in the live yesterday, and I've said this before when I did a reading on him a while back. He has very weird energy, so it is what it is. This is what happened when you don't love your kids, okay? This is what happened when you don't love your kids. Oh, and all statements made are alleged for entertainment purposes only. I am definitely saying that because I don't want to smoke with this person. I don't have the money, and they will win just off the time and money it would take. And just with the allegations and the legislation and the pushing paperwork, I don't have it. Okay, this is for entertainment purposes only. This is simply for you to use your power of discernment and, you know, come to a decision for yourself. I am just interpreting what I'm getting from the cards. I am an intuitive reader, so if it's something that I'm picking up on this and it hurts your feelings, oh well. I'm just relaying what I'm getting. I am not saying this is based on facts. So with that being said, now I can shuffle in earnest. Oh. Okay, let's see. Let's know here. Oh, and I had some flip over, I think. What else flipped over in here? So I did have 3 cards and they all came over in reverse. We have the Pioneer of Swords in reverse. We have the Missionary of Cups. And then we also have the 3 of Wands. That's pretty interesting. 3 of Wands, the Missionary of Cups, and the Pioneer of Swords. This could be number 47, and this could be EM, and this could be the energy between them. But let's see. I'm gonna mix these in here like so, and try again. Okay, no. What flipped over? I thought I heard something flip over. Nope, okay. And then everything wanted to flip out, and I'm not going to count those. Okay, and then I had two other cards. So, okay. The King of Cups makes absolute sense to me. I mean, the King of Coins make absolute sense to me because um I do think this was a business dealing. First and foremost, I think this was a lot dealing with business, him wanting to make a dream of his reality. I think that a lot of this is really involving his laid out plans for his future city that he is trying to make, because I think he's creating one in St. Louis or something like that, or Missouri or something. And then his plans, his other future plans on building an colony on Mars. So I think he sees this as a means to an end for his endeavors, his wishes, his things that he wants to make into actuality. The Two of Cups is kind of throwing me because usually this is dealing with, oh wait, actually no. The Two of Cups, because usually in the upright is, harmonious partnership, is equal partnership, equally yoked. It's two people who are really invested and are working towards the same goal. But with the Two of Cups coming up in reverse for me, this makes it seem like someone is putting more effort into this partnership, this cooperation, this relationship more than the other person. Somebody has not so good intentions maybe with this. It can also sometimes read to abusive relationships. So with the Two of Cups, you can read that how you want to read it. And then the Pioneer of Wands, yes, to me this is kind of, again, going into this was the money I had to spend into this partnership in order to get the passion that I really want in discovering or creating my mark on the world and creating his future world with all the technologies. It's not surprising that he owns Twitter and he has Neuralink and he has SpaceX and the Tesla. It's not a coincidence that all of these things he has going on, these bigger businesses that he owns, they're all in an effort to make his wishes reality, his dreams reality. Now the I keep wanting to say Cups, the Queen of Coins coming up in reverse here at the end is a bit confusing. I don't know who or what this could be. This almost made me think like maybe this do have something to do with his mother, but as far as I know, she's like a non-existent in their life. Like she pops up, but she hasn't been whatever. But I ain't question nobody parenting style. And the underlying energies here, we have Death, we have the Eight of Coins in reverse, and then the Two of Wands. Again, something dealing with some kind of, there's going to be a hiccup in his plans though. The overarching thing that he's trying to have happen, because usually with the Two of Wands, this is like the plotting, planning before you move on to the next spot, before you actually make a move. Sometimes this can speak of trade and things like that, but it's coming up in reverse. So to me, I feel like I think it's so adequate that it's weapons in this card. It's kind of like you are shooting yourself in the foot. And then the Eight of Coins here. This just makes me feel like pioneer energy, and I don't know why I'm getting pioneer energy. Something, maybe it's because he's trying to force something, because the Death, trying to push something through. I'm getting like pioneer energy, creation, and then like you probably should have stayed a bit and planned a little bit more. Okay, here's a message that I am getting. As smart as EM is, I think human emotion escape him. I don't think he understands, and I don't know if this is a case of like just his Asperger's or just the circumstances he was raised under. Because if you don't understand why I keep bringing up something about how he's raised, it recently came to my attention, to my knowledge, that basically he grew up in a home where it wasn't like a lot of love. The mom just kind of let him and his brother do what they wanted to do in order to become the smart individuals that they are. But I think they lack, where they're maybe off the charts in IQ. I think when it comes to EQ, it's not there. I don't even think they probably fully understand their own emotions, or why they're driven the way that they are, or emotionally driven, and pulled to certain things that they are. But it just gives me like the IQ is top notch, but the EQ is not. If you don't know, IQ, mental intelligence, and then EQ, emotional intelligence. And I think that's going to be the thing that's going to kind of put a monkey wrench in his plans, essentially, is because he just doesn't understand how driven, I guess, some people can be through their emotions, or if people just simply don't like you, or if, somebody's intuition is set off and they feel like you did something wrong or made some kind of misstep. I think that's what's going to be something that set him back here. I think he has it's kind of like he has all of the parts in place, but yet he doesn't understand this machine needs oil, this machine needs gas, this machine needs a memory card or something to like really understand and read and interpret to move forward. You have all the mechanics in place, but you don't have like those little intricacies of like, you probably still need a person to operate this. And how are you going to do that if nobody likes you or they're weary of you? And I think that's going to be the thing that's going to throw a wrench in his plans. Oop, let's do this right now. I forgot about that. Okay, so hopefully you won't hear any more birds. Let's see. Why was EM interested in that? And that might be another thing too. He probably doesn't understand what passionately or emotionally drives number 47. And I think that's where the split is going to come in there, because they're both in it for their own personal reasons and they're not understanding one another. I think it's going to be a battle of egos or wheels, essentially, that's going to be coming out. Look, more prints of this. Okay, the Magus, and this usually speaks to manipulation. I've been getting that Magician a lot lately. In reverse, manipulation, dark dealings, forcing things that don't need to be. Can be somebody who's very kind of cold. Think of like the meanest teacher you've ever had. See, look. Ugh. It's funny, I'm getting 4 cards again. Yeah, it's the emotional intelligence is not there. The emotional intelligence is just, the emotional range is not there. And look what comes up underneath. The Tower, we have the 5 of Wands, which is dealing with strife. Yeah, it's going to be some strife. And then the Knight of Wands. I don't know who that Knight of Wands is, but it could be the youth, just like the American youth or the world, or the youth worldwide period, that just kind of wouldn't like some of the things that he's going to do. I don't know about that one. Okay, so again with the Prince of Disc here, and notice he's like holding this globe. I I think there is some aspirations here. If it's not for world domination, is definitely to control a narrative, very materialistic, very consumerism, very stuck on consumption. Sometimes this can be somebody who's, I want to say, like pig-headed. Like, I'm very stuck on this is how it should be. This is what it should be. Again, sorry, Virgos, got to pick on you all again. Capricorns, you're there too. You know what? No, all the earth signs can be very stuck on, I want, especially Taurus, can be very stuck on this is how I want something to be. And when it doesn't happen that way, sometimes they can either respond in anger, jealousy, underhandedness sometimes is a thing. They can kind of get mean-spirited because they're not getting their way. It's kind of like a kid throwing a tantrum. I explained the Magus here, so it doesn't surprise me with that. Also, the Magus sometimes reads as like not just alchemical, but like communicative to me as well. How can you exert your influence, your power of what's the word? Your power of, how can you exercise or use your power of like your just likability for people to come to your cause, essentially. That's kind of like what the Magus gives me. The Four of Cups, the luxury card coming up here in reverse, is so fitting after yesterday, where I was just talking about, if you, again, I can't put the eye cards in here now, but you will see them up here in the corner after, when the video's processed. They don't let you do it in the live. But yesterday I did a reading on Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni, and it was apparent, it was coming up to me in there that there's this kind of like, people are sick of the nepotism. People do not like the ruling class. Is giving like eat the rich mentality. Is giving me like French Renaissance with I don't know what they would call this one, or the French Revolution, where, you know, Marie Antoinette and them. It's like, you're living in opulence and you're worried about another planet, and yet here I am, I'm stuck on this earth, and I'm dealing with all of the waste and the byproduct and the harm that is being caused by your negligence or your blinded pursuit of things, and I'm being left to the wayside. And I think that's what this kind of like Four Cups luxury is. It just brings up like resentment, essentially. Like, I really can't stand the aristocracy, the plutocracy of it all, the oligarchy. I don't like all of the what you represent, what you mean, whether you mean it or not, or whether you have good intentions. Because he may, in his own twisted way, feel like he has good intentions for mankind to help propel us forward. I think some of that even I can understand, of like, why don't we have a universal kind of like I guess you say like political society as such that helps rule us, and we kind of can work together to move things forward, especially when it comes to like space matters. But there is a certain delicate balance that you have to strike, and I think he's forcing it at this point, and I think that's what's going to cause the resentment and the anger and the debauchery and the upsettingness. And I will even give credit for this too, because, you know, the human memory is short term. Even if right now people do not like a lot of what he's doing, I think it could be just a matter of time, and he could understand it and see it this way too, where it's like, okay, you all will forget about this in a few years anyway, or you'll be dead, and I can move on and push this forward, or I can bring up a generation who will be more understanding and receptive to the plans and the ideologies that I want to set place for the future, for us as mankind to move forward. So I can wait this out, kind of thing. See what I mean by his energy? It always gives Lex Luthor. It gives Lex Luthor energy. It gives I'm very smart, mega mind almost, but I don't understand the everyday nuances and why are you reacting so emotionally. He approaches emotion like an experiment, like something he really can't be bothered with almost. I think if you, I don't know how to explain this. It kind of gives like, if you're mad, he's looking at mentally or physically why you, the signs of like how madness show up for you and how did you, and mentally, how did you get to this point? But he doesn't understand it's an emotion fueling what's going on underneath, like underneath that volcano. That's best way I can put it right now. I'm not eloquent right now, but that's what it is giving. So here we go with this. Oh, I had 3 cards. Okay, let's see here. So we have the Sentinel, Determination and Certainty. This did come up in reverse, so I'm putting them in the upright so I can read them. The Wise One, Tradition and Order. And then we also have the Patron, Mentorship, Finances. He was his patron. To me, this feels like a deal. Allegedly, this feels like, you want to be president? I'll help you get there, but I need you to scratch my back. And I don't think that's so far-fetched. Nobody is putting all this money and doing all this stuff unless they're getting something out of it too. I mean, this is the same person. We're talking about the same person who could have ended homelessness. I believe he was working with the World Health Organization to end homelessness and decided, nope, I'm not going to do it. Took the plan, and I think he pretty much like chucked it or put it in the back seat to understand or use for some later purpose, like a backup card or something that he's using. He's going to use it to apply to something else. I don't know what he did with that plan, but they literally told him how he could end homelessness. And that man said, well, I'm going to go buy a social media platform instead. And then we have the Shelter, Celebration and Family. Celebration and Family for underlying energies. That has to deal with the public. I don't think that's him. The Adventure, Responsibility and Expectations. And then we also have the Herald, Small Regrets, Longing. Small regrets, longing, responsibility and expectations, and celebration of family. Again, the Shepherd makes me think of, when I think of the Shepherd, I think of somebody who is caroling, a farm dog, you know. I'm herding all the sheep in. Yes, I'm herding all the sheep in. I am your shepherd. That is giving me that kind of energy. So to me, this feels more so towards the public. The Adventurer and the Herald makes me feel like I had a plan or emotion, and again, I'm going to force it to happen one way or another. Or maybe I'm going to help speed up the process, speed it along. This person was a means to an end in order for me to get what I wanted. I don't think it's, oh, I believe in your policies, or I like what you do. And I think anybody who has been paying attention would understand and see that. I don't think he is like, oh, you know, I really care about American politics, or, you know, number 47 or anything like that. It's a means to an end. I needed to use you to get somewhere, so it is what it is. Okay, so now that we looked at why him in number 47 got into, you know, bed together business-wise, not, you know, physically, but, you know, got into bed together business-wise in order to do this. I guess we can look at, what is this meaning for us? Like, what's coming up with this? What's the plan here? Look, that Queen of Coins came up again, and the Six of Wands coming up in reverse. I had the Eight of Cups and the Three of Wands come out again. Ooh, running away from something, from a harsh trouble. That Three of Wands. When I see this picture, it just what is that? It almost gives me the Three of Cups energy, like we're cooperating and doing what we need to, but it's also like, but we really don't like who's leading this boat. Like, we don't trust your leadership. With this Three of Wands, I believe the Three of Wands is the retelling of Moby Dick. I have not read that book, and I'm not going to. I will cliff note it if anything, but it's something along those lines there. Okay, and then hold on, I had some cards fly all the way up underneath my desk. Let's try this again. We got the Magician coming up in the upright. Ooh, my ear itch. Seven of Swords. I say, if anything, if nothing else, just be ready for some drama. This is like, I would really be sick if nobody makes a movie about this later on in life. Because it just seems like it's going to be some Oscar-worthy drama happening in here. Look at that. We have the Pope. We have the Pope coming up. So the Pope, or aka the Hierophant, it can deal sometimes with people in robes, the judges and things like that, justice, things kind of being out of order, but sometimes it can also deal with societal structures is the other way I can explain it. It kind of feels like I'm trying to shake up societal structures. Ace of Coins. What about money and finances is changing here? It could be some new business endeavor. It could be something dealing with I'm trying to change. It could be like a currency flip over. It could be something where, you know, maybe business dealings can go unchecked. I'm using what I have, the law, this person in my back pocket, to push through and do things that I want, screw what the public wants. But this is going to help me do what I need to do, maybe even change the public mind, or what they call it, like go under the table in order to push what I need to through without getting the pushback or acceptance or whatever, the votes or whatever the case may be, I would need from the public. This is a work around. And then the underlying energy here is the Star, the Four of Coins, and then the Chariot. What are you hiding? What is this? The Four of Coins here, especially with this particular story for this one, I remember vividly, is dealing with a woman who was abused during, that dark time of American history that people would like to make you believe didn't exist, didn't happen. And she was also being SA'd and mentally abused by her owner. And she ran away and hid in her family's attic for a while before she was able to escape to America. Even when she married somebody else and stuff like that, this man was still coming after her. And so she just kind of really did not live. It was a very sad life she was living for, I want to say, was it 5 years, 10 years, something like that? Where she barely could even move. She couldn't go out and do things. So when I see the Four of Coins here in this particular deck, it just, it's a alarming feeling that I get with that one. With this star being here, it just makes me feel like, what do he want to be noticed for? Or what are they both looking to be noticed for? Notice, I don't know if you could read it. I'm going to turn it up right, so you're not reading it upside down. You see it says liberator, right, on the chariot, but it's coming up in reverse. Do not be looking to me for no liberation. Don't think I'm going to help you out of anything. This is for my own personal matters. This is for my own personal gain. It's I see the image of I don't know how many of you have ever watched this show, the Dave Chappelle show, the episode where he was like, he had the crown on and he was holding on to his money like, no, I can't give it to the poor or something like that. He was saying, like, that image, that clip came to mind looking at that chariot car. I'm not giving anything to the poor. That's not funny. I gotta laugh. I gotta laugh to keep from crying because people really be having those mindsets. It's crazy. Okay. People do not like poverty. Woo! Or people who are impoverished. It's just, they feel like they the sickness. I don't know. And that's crazy. See, Three of Cups. We were a means to an ends for one another. Queen of Swords. Oh, I don't know if that caught on camera, the way that car flew across, and then the tower. And look what comes up underneath here. Debauchery. The Aeon, which is the world, or spirit. And then we also have the sun. Something's going to work out in their favor. I don't know what it is with the sun and the Aeon coming up here in the upright. Something gonna work out in their favor. It's gonna hit a snag, but something's gonna work out in their favor. Something that they really want. And it don't matter if the people like it or not. I'm gonna have to hide this one a little bit because, yeah. To me, it just really feel like it's something dealing with, and this could go hand in hand with the whole eradicating the Department of Education. To me, it really makes me think this is dealing with trying to manipulate and control the younger generation. It's like we know the older generation is not going to go for it because they've had a taste of freedom. They're a little bit more knowledgeable. They've seen what, or they have at least have heard from people in their family or previously that this is how things were and this is how things could be. Screw them. We just want them. We just are going to push them out the way, and we're going to worry about controlling the youth. Manipulating the youthful minds, controlling them and putting them under our, I want to say control, but it's more like having them see what we see, bringing them over to our side. And to me, this is crazy that this would come from number 47, because if you ask me, are you even going to live long enough to see that? EM is much younger. He may still be able to see at least some of the fruit of his labor with this. I don't understand why, unless it's a thing of like, this is how I want to be remembered in history. But it's kind of like I think you're kind of going the extreme way about it. These two, who's historical figures I can compare them to? These two kind of give me, yeah, the only thing that's coming to mind right now, and it's probably just because I was watching this the other day, it's giving me Trump and Hector. What did I say? It's giving not okay, scratch that. It's giving me what is their names? It was Hector and, oh my god, Achilles. It's giving me that type of energy, like destiny wise, they're somewhat intertwined and depend on each other, or now because this dealing is in progress, they are intertwined, their destinies are intertwined, it's connected, or interchangeable, or whatever the case may be. And yet they really don't like one another, just because of I don't know, the teams that they're on, or the birth of circumstances, or whatever the case may be. It's giving kind of like a convoluted relationship in a sense, but a destined one at the same time. Because on one hand, hopefully this can help clear some things up, because I know I sound like I'm really out in the stratosphere on this, but hopefully this will help clear it up. To me, it seems like the common thread between number 47 and EM is the historical aspect of this. Like, people are gonna, the winner write history, so I can have this go down in history as like, I was the greatest mind that ever lived, and I seen the bigger picture, and this is what we wanted to do, or this is what I wanted to do, or to accomplish or complete. This is the desire that I had. This is the dream that I was working towards, and the public did not understand. But now y'all see y'all doing better. It's kind of like a rewrite or a reenactment of like sort of like I think this is fitting, of like the Tesla and who was that Edison battle all over again. It's kind of like, yeah, our time in history has overlapped, is running parallel together, and eventually we're going to cross one another. So now this is the point in history where we've crossed over one another, but eventually it's going to be, there can only be one kind of thing. And I think the common thread between the two is, yes, historically they want to be remembered or seen a certain way, control the narrative on something. There's also a thing of like ego here, but then I think there's a split in a sense of like, again, for EM at least, it just feels like he's thinking very much about what his future of mankind, of what the world, of what human beings can be in the future, and knowing that he's played a role in kind of like being the creator or the godlike figure in creating and making that become a reality. Whereas with number 47, his feels very, I hate to put it this way, it just feels very it feels much smaller than that, where it's kind of like, well, I'm doing this because of, maybe family name, my name, legacy, to stroke my own ego for a second or whatever. It feels kind of minuscule, where EM's is kind of on a bigger picture kind of sense. That's the energies that I'm picking up here in between. And whatever they're working towards, somebody is going to get something out of this. What I think that they like, but I think it's just going to be a bumpy road a bit. But I confidently, I feel like somebody's energy here is allegedly that, you know, I only have to deal with the pushback for so long, because once I integrate this new generation in, I control this new generation, and they see me in a certain light, you know, I'm off to the races. I can do what I want. Well, I work on changing our minds. I'm just going to go under the table or circumvent you and do what I want to do. I have the time, money, and influence to do so. Power to do so. Oh my God. Okay. I don't need all of these cards just exploding everywhere. Relationships and vulnerability. Ooh. I'm picking on your vulnerability. It's giving scavenger birds. Oh wait, and then I get I think that these are cranes with the twins here. I'm talking about scavenger birds, and then I get cranes. Okay, self-protection, dual natures. There's a reason why they say the queen is the strongest piece on the board. I'm just, y'all read between the lines on that. The aspirant, ambition, diligence, and setbacks. Yeah. This is giving, I think it's EM's energy that I'm picking up on strongly throughout this reading. Yeah. I have an aspiration. I'm striving towards it. I need it to be a thing. He is going to experience setbacks. I think he is expecting setbacks. I think some of the setbacks is not going to come in the way that he expected, or they might catch him off guard, because they're, especially if it's like emotionally a fueled kind of response, I think it's going to catch him off guard. He's not going to understand it, or how to like counteract it. That's probably why he's going to hire somebody who's really good at understanding human emotions to kind of get around that. But I really think he just took advantage of number 47's weakness, which again, ego is not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing. However, when your ego is the only thing that's running everything, that's operating everything, and how you strive and move forward, to where you become blindsided to everything else, it's dangerous. It's time for an ego death. And he has taken advantage of number 47's ego to do what he needed to do. And he also used this time, I hate to say it, of the way the public has been responding to a lot of the structures that are in place, the governing, the rulership that's in place, and being upset and disgruntled with how things are, that they feel left behind, that they feel overlooked, that they feel squished. And he's using this as an opportunity to kind of, I want to say, push a narrative, push some propaganda, control some things, put some checkpoints, checks and balances in place in order to kind of like help push yourself further along for what he has in mind. And again, this is giving bigger picture to me. This is like, I see us getting to this point, and this is where I need it to be. So by hook or crook, I don't care what I have to do to get it there, but that's what I'm going to do. I wouldn't be surprised if he also was using this as an opportunity to destroy the American government, in a sense, to where he can, because, you know, that's the big power. or at least on the world stage, that's seen as like a big power. So if I can infiltrate and ruin this and bring this down, this is like the last, it almost feels like this is the last guard, the last man standing in my way. If I can handicap this barrier or take it down or move it out the way, this hurdle out the way, again, I'm off to the races. I can do what I want. His mind gives me, if you ever seen the movie Interstellar, when he's in the, I guess you would call it like the black hole, the time warp for whatever he's in, his mind gives me that, very fractured and splintered but whole. And I think on one of my last, well, before I went on break, I think one of the ones that I read on was like, people really need to be careful about the information that we are being inundated with, the messaging, the propaganda, and where it's coming from, who it's coming from, why are they presenting this messaging and stuff like that to us. I think people really need to be careful. Again, I'm just going to reiterate that because and I don't mean this just because of EM and 47. I think there is just like if you haven't already noticed, is very much like an information war going on. And I think people just need to be very careful and mindful of where their information, things like that, is coming from. Okay. I've looked at him and number 47's energy. I've looked at why he got involved in this presidential race. Not erase, girl, race. I don't know. Maybe it's what's the outcome? What's the intentions that he's looking for? I guess is the. I just need y'all to not hit my thumb while I'm shuffling. Okay. Yeah, see that missionary sword is moving too quickly because of what he wants to have happen. Now, in number 47's reading, I think I did one like not too long after it was announced he was a winner. I was getting something about some Queen of Wands energy coming up. And she seemed to be of detriment or risk to number 47. I don't know who this woman is. I haven't quite got a bead on who it is. I still don't know who it is. But this Queen of Wands is coming. It's interesting. This Queen of Wands is coming up in EM's reading as well, because I wonder if this is somebody who is in connection to both of them. And it may not be a person. It could be people. It could be an institution. Because again, court cards don't always have to be a person. It could be a person, place, or thing. Like a situation that you are having to overcome. And it is something you're going to have to overcome because it's the Queen of Wands here. So it's just like stagnant energy or a hurdle, again, that you're going up against. The missionary swords and the missionary wands, the king of swords, it's all giving, to me, it's all pointing to EM's energy. You have the high priestess in reverse, the king of three of coins. Am I having a stroke? Jesus. And then the 5 of cups. I'm going to have to do a world reading because it's of interest to me that this is something that seems to keep being repeated lately of like, whether the public is right or wrong, it just feels like the public is tired of, or is in this space of eat the rich. We don't trust anybody who come from a certain social status, standing, financial bracket. Like, we don't want that. And I don't think they're prepared for the backlash that's going to come with that. Now, if it's going to be successful or not, I don't know. But again, this does feels like a very tough, rough patch. It's going to be a lot of pushback. Whether it succeeds or not is to be determined. I'm not picking up on that, but it definitely feels like it's a lot of strife, a lot of opposing forces going on here. It's worrisome. And I think he needs to be careful. Like, you might be setting yourself up. You making your own black hide at this point. And again, with this King of Swords, especially with it coming up in reverse, this just bring about to me, intellectually, I have it all there. I might even have the suave, the suave to pull stuff off, but emotionally, I cannot get you across the finish line. I know how to get the horse to the water. I know how to bring the water up so the horse can drink, but I can't get this horse to drink. I don't understand why this horse won't drink. I don't understand, again, what makes this horse tick, this other being, this other individual, what makes them tick, what drives them. I can't make them drink. I can't make you take part. It seemed like basically human behavior or reaction, passion, emotion, something like that is the hang up. I keep picking up on that. What did I say? 5 of Wands, strife. And again, if you don't know, tarot, the wands is usually dealing with a lot of the things of what's that fire, that passion, the reason behind you doing a lot of the things that you're doing. Ten of Swords, ruin. I say if he has a long road ahead of him. He has a long road ahead of him. It's by hook or crook. I don't care how much he's look, Prince of Swords, Knight of Wands. He's gonna have to what's the word? He's going to have to sacrifice or put aside something that he really wants to happen. And this was also something I got in number 47's reading soon following his win. Like, it's something that they're revisiting from the past that they want to push through or have happen or, bring to reality, to actualize, that makes them feel like, okay, I made it. I finally done it. I'm that person. But for whatever reason, they're going to have to fall on their sword. They're going to have to compromise. They're going to have to pull back on it, because it's just not going to work out in their favor. Oh, and I was thinking of balance too before I even seen that the Libra card is on here. I believe this is Jupiter, or is that Saturn in Libra? That's constriction. That's some hard energy. That's I see both sides of it. I'm going to have to bring justice to it, whether you like it or not. It's kind of like laying down the law of the land. You can't do that, sir. You can't do that, sir. Look, and then the emperor coming up in reverse. Ooh. Fortune coming up in reverse. It's also the Six of Cups was deals with pleasure in this particular deck. The Eight of Wands, swiftness. As fast as you came running in here, as quick as you about to get pushed out. Oh. All these cards underneath is just, it's not. It's not looking good. It's giving you're going to have to go home and lick your wounds. You didn't expect this. And I just noticed something on this too. I don't know if this is is that Catholic religion with like I don't know what they call this, but I feel like I've seen this on like the Pope's scepter and stuff before, and this just made me think of like the Crusades. Where was I going with this? It was something I picked up on because my eyes honed in on this. So it could be a thing of changing the world's belief or eradicating some kind of belief or something like that. It could be something dealing with like a crusade. And we know how people remember that in history now. And it does say universal brotherhood. Secret society type stuff. I don't know. It was something I picked up on reading that, and I lost my train of thought. Maybe it's not meant for me to speak on that, but when I seen that, something was starting to click in my head, and I wanted to speak on it, but now it's gone. Oh, if I stop shuffling for a moment, okay. The wise one reads, what did I say? Tradition, order. Tradition, order. Missionary of wands, a messenger, someone who comes in to create change, someone who wants to change beliefs. Tradition, order. You have to, volcanoes get a bad rap, but sometimes you have to, or fire get a bad rap. It's not all bad. Sometimes, a lot of people look at fire as being destructive, but sometimes some things have to be deconstructed or destroyed in order for a new thing to make way, to come through. Fire is not all, fire and brimstone and destruction. It's sometimes birthing, passion, creation. It gets a bad rap. Productivity, creation. This is starting to lean a bit more towards what I was saying in the title. This does seem to lean a little bit towards some destruction of world orders and traditions in order to make way for something new. And if that's something that he's striving for, I think on that sense, it's going to come true. But I think if it's going to come true in the way that he wants, in order for him to do what he really wants to do, I don't know. Overthinking, taking action. That's that missionary of swords coming in there. I'm going to force it through. I'm gonna make it happen, Captain. And with that fiery energy, like, screw it. I'm not going to think about this no more. I'm just going to pull a trigger. The botanist, parenthood legacy. Parenthood legacy. I'm seeing the botanist, and it's more so bringing like, yeah, I guess you can say parenthood or legacy. How can I delicately bring this or take care of this entity, this energy, this creation, this device that I've created in order to make sure that it gets to a point where they can survive and thrive on its own. That I can reap the benefits of what I've sown. And then we have the king. Control, reversal of fortune. Yeah, this. What problems are he running away from? Is it feelings of inadequacy? That's the only thing I can think of. The waker, awareness, reflection, the vengeance, overcoming slights, a choice. That's the underlying cards here. That's the underlying energies. The runaway, the waker, and the vengeance. Who is he trying to show up and prove? That Queen of Wands and with this vengeance card coming up here. Who could that be? You know what? Nope. I think I have an idea who it could be. But that's... Mm. People's Oedipus complex. It's crazy. Yeah, I'm gonna wrap it up there. I'm not gonna say anything else on this. Again, this was all alleged for entertainment purposes only. This was me just trying to get a better understanding. If it was something that came out in this reading that resonated with you, great. If it's something where you like, nah, I think you went off topic with that, fine, leave it. You know, again, this is just my intuitive reading on this. But again, I will say there definitely is some big aspirations here. And if taking away or ruining the old world is what it takes for EM to get to where he feels like he should be or where mankind should be in order for him to make his dreams, his passions, his ideas reality, he has no problem doing that. And to me, it just kind of feels like number 47 was ends to a mean. And I would not be surprised if these two fall out. I don't think Ian would feel any kind of way about it. And I honestly don't think number 47 will feel some type of way about it because, you know, they used each other for what they needed to use each other for, at least on the surface, you know, at the initial. So I think, you know, EM has other irons in the fire that he's going to pull and try to make real or put into play, essentially. But again, I think both of them are going to be in for a rude awakening because the public sentiment is probably like the best way I could sum it up. The public sentiment, the universal sentiment, the world sentiment is changing. And I think it's just gonna, again, whether this continues long term, because again, the human memory is very short. If it's gonna actually change some things, if it's actually gonna move some things forward, who knows? But I do think there is, again, some messaging, some things at play that's gonna help maybe overturn it. But it may result in a way that neither one of them expected that they could prophesize or see or, you know, calculate into their plans, especially with EM, because again, it's like the emotional thing is just not there. It doesn't click for him in a way. So, yeah. That's what I'm getting. Hopefully you enjoyed this reading. Hopefully you understood it, because I know at points I kind of went off on a tangent but I tried to explain this as best as I can. But let me know what you all think down in the comment section below, especially if you're watching this on replay. Again, make sure to like, share, and subscribe so you can see the next time I upload, because I will be doing a reading tomorrow evening. Or tomorrow night. I will be doing one on New Jeans. It was a requested video, so might as well see what I get out of that. And then I may follow up with like what to expect in 2025, because I am, again, this energy I keep getting about like public sentiment changing against the rich and things like that, and it's something about like propaganda and messaging that keeps coming through for me. I really want to kind of put my finger on this pulse and see what's coming up. So with all of that being said, again, thank you all for joining me in this reading. If you like, share, and subscribe, it's completely free to you, but it helps out my channel so much more. I will see you all here tomorrow, or I will see you in a future reading on something that I do. And if you do have any requests for readings you would like to see me do, make sure to drop it down in the comment section below as well. And with that, I wish you all a great day or night wherever you are, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.